Hi guys, this is Max here, hopefully with another great political video, and today we're going to fill and complete the political compass test that we started last video. Now, all questions from pages 1 to page 3 are filled out just the same way they were during the last video. If you're interested in it, go back and check it out. But right now we're going to do the second part of it and find out where I fit in on the political spectrum. Alright, if you like this test, it's called the Political Compass. I can heavily recommend it. It's a great thing. Our civil liberties are excessively curbed in the name of counterterrorism. Well, I'd say disagree. I mean, it's not a lot worse than it was before 9/11, but there were some cuts to it. That's sure. We should be concerned about that. A significant advantage of a one-party state is that it avoids all the arguments that delay progress of in a democratic system. Yep, that doesn't mean that I support an authoritarian state, but that is the only real advantage that it has. Although the electronic age makes official surveillance easier, only wrongdoers should be worried. I'd say in general, yeah, but some people have to be worried anyway. Nonetheless, electronic age needs to progress. We have to move into the future, so I'd actually put strongly agree. The death penalty should be an option, like in the uttermost serious crimes, like what Osama bin Laden did, but in general, the death penalty shouldn't be used as much as it is being used. In a civilized society, one must always have people above to be obeyed and people below to be commanded. Disagree. Abstract art that doesn't represent anything shouldn't be considered art at all. Well, you consider art whatever you want, but I don't like it. In criminal justice, punishment should be more important than rehabilitation. Yeah, but there should be some form of rehabilitation to everybody. It really depends on the crime. If it was a minor offense, you should be brought back to society. If it was a very big thing like murder, then you could talk about making it more of a punishment. But in general, I'm neutral on that issue. So that's the reason why I'm really missing the option neutral here. It is a waste of time to try to rehabilitate. Some criminals agree, some really can't be brought back, but but most can be in some way. So that's just the case. There are some people who get released from prison and commit crimes again. That happens quite often. The business person and the manufacturer are more important than the writer and the artist. Yeah, they are, but they are probably more helpful for society, but that doesn't mean that a writer or an artist is a bad person. These people as well can do great things. Well, I would want mothers to be homemakers, but on the other hand, I would also love people to be working because that creates a much stronger country and a much stronger society if we have more people joining the workforce. So I'd put disagree on that. And by the way, that also counts for fathers. I would want both parents to first focus on their families and then go out and do the work for themselves and their families. Yeah. Multinational corporations are unethically exploiting the planet's resources. I'd say disagree. They are exploiting some resources, but is not a gigantic issue. Every corporation tries what's best for its shareholders. That's what a corporation's supposed to do, and the government should make sure that that doesn't go out of hand. Making peace with the establishment is a important thing. Nope, you should always question the establishment because a few selected individuals holding all the power is one of the biggest dangers that a democracy or a republic could face. It's taking some time to load. In the meantime, why don't here we are. I wanted to say in the meantime, why don't you think about how you would have answered for these questions and answer it yourself? If you got through that, okay, now we'll find your positions on religion. Okay, astrology accurately explains many things. Strongly disagree. That's bullshit. You can't be moral without being religious. There are many atheist people who are morally, yeah, very morally focused. Charity is better than social security. Yeah, it is better, but that doesn't mean that you don't need social security because not everybody is willing to give something to charity. Some people are naturally unlucky. Well, I don't really believe that you can be naturally unlucky. It's important that my child's school instills religious values. Now, before I go to that question, I want to say I don't believe that a person can be naturally unlucky in the way that they're doomed to always fail, but it is, of course, true if you were born into a wealthier family, then you got better starting positions. Now, it's important that my child's school insists religious values. I like to say it's important that my child's school talks about religion, but actually, on the other hand, separation between church and state, that's a big element of the United States of America, and I don't really want any religion, not Christianity or anything else, to be favored. So I'm really divided between strongly disagree and disagree, but at least they should talk about religion. They should not insist them, but they should talk about it and what it means. Okay, we're heading to the last page. And after we got the results, we can also compare our standings to other elections from different countries and to US elections. That's very cool, I personally think. But again, it's not the real political compass test results from the people in those countries that are being displayed. That's just the estimate. Now, here we have sex outside marriage is usually immoral. Strongly disagree. I mean, if it is, then I'll probably go to hell anyway, so who cares? A same sex couple in a stable, loving relationship should not be excluded from the possibility of adoption. Yep. I'm really saying some people are straight, some people are gay, but what matters the most is that they can provide a loving home and everybody is capable of doing that. Pornography should be legal. I don't like pornography, I don't watch it. Really, I used to, but I'm off that trail now. It really isn't good for you. But on the other hand, there's really not much the government could do to prohibit pornography, so that's just the way it is. What goes on in a private bedroom between two consenting adults, no business of the state? Well, in general, yeah, but if you like massacre somebody in a very perverted thing, yeah, that's somewhat business of the state. Sorry. No one can feel naturally homosexual. Strongly disagree. These days, the openness of sex has gone has about sex has gone too far. No, I wouldn't say that. Okay, we're getting the results. This could take a while. My school Wi-Fi is really not the best, but now let's see. Oh, they even gave countries special spots: Saudi Arabia, Singapore, China, North Korea. That's fun. Oh, okay. I inhabited the libertarian rights section of the political compass. Okay. Yeah, so I'm in the libertarian right. Apparently, I'm an economic center conservative and a social liberal leaning person. That's roughly in line with my values, I should say. I do believe this is correct. Yeah, so that's basically where I fit in. It's pretty much a lot aligned with my libertarian-ish viewpoints that I have, but of course I'm still an American patriot and I still also care about people who are being left behind. So that's a pretty good description of my political views. You even can get a certificate here. That's really cool. Now I'm gonna tell you my middle name. Anyway, while we're waiting for the certificate, we could take a little look at some of these charts from political. Yeah. Okay, here, we got the certificate. The political compass. Who's that guy? Apparently, I'm the most aligned with him. Now, do you recognize any of those faces? That's Mugabe, the old jerk, Castro. Yeah, that's basically the worst quarter you could end up with. Those are the worst of all people. I mean, there's Stalin up here. Donald Trump is at the top here. Boris Johnson, look at the way how they drew Boris Johnson. He looks like an egg. And down here we have like left wing anarchists and like idols of the international left, like uh, Nelson Mandela and Bernie Sanders. That, oh yeah, Bernie Sanders, of course, as well. That's Nicola Sturgeon. I think that's the first minister of Scotland, and that's Angela Merkel. I absolutely don't like her. She's boring as shit, bro. Anyway, now let's go back to this here. There they display how in individual elections, individual people stood on the political compass. Let's go with, like, for example, the USA 2020 presidential election. Here we had German and US conservatives have very little in common. Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, German conservatives are essentially the Nancy Pelosi left. It's a joke, man. Anyway, yeah, so I'd love to check out all these different things with you, but there are just too many of them. If you want to see how every politician in every country stands, I'd heavily recommend you trying out this political compass test. It's really great. I've done it various different times, and I'm extremely happy that I can now share it with my community here on my channel. And last but not least, here you see the where the presidential candidates stand on the political axis, and both Donald Trump and Biden are pretty far authoritarian right, which again underlines the fact that America is a very conservative country. And then you have Hawkins, the Green Party candidate, all the way down here, and Jorgensen all the way in the libertarian right. So they both have, she has the same, approximately the same social views as I do, even though I would doubt to have the same as Mr. Hawkins, but economically I'm closer to the center than Jorgensen. Anyway, I doubt the accuracy of these predictions anyway. Okay, now that's it. If you like this video, I assume you didn't, but if you did, please be so kind, give me a like, comments and subscriptions are greatly appreciated. And see you guys tomorrow.